Hi, this is Anthony and welcome to On the Ladder with Anthony. So in this video, I want to talk about a very important topic. It's the number one mistake that first-time buyers make, and it's the most costly mistake first-time buyers make. So you really want to pay attention to this video because the insights you're going to learn from this video will save you thousands, if not tens of thousands of pounds when you are purchasing your first property. So, what's the number one mistake first-time buyers make? Simple. They always fall in love with property. Let me repeat that again. First-time buyers' biggest mistake they make is they always fall in love with property. You never do that. Let me just explain how this works. So you're a first-time buyer, you go do some viewings and you find the one, the dream home. You must have it. Now, what do we do as human beings when we must have something? We become extremely emotionally attached to that thing. And when you become emotionally attached to a transaction involving money, it means one thing. It's going to cost you a lot because you are not buying with your head, you're buying with your heart. And once you start doing that, you're going to be putting in offers, you're going to be chasing down properties, and you're going to be spent way over the property's true market value. It's the biggest mistake first-time buyers make. They look at a property, they love it, and they say to themselves, I must have this one. What does that lead to? So you see a property there and it's valued £200,000. That's the market value. But because you must have it, I'm telling you right now, that means nothing. When you're in your emotional state and you just want to buy it, you're going to find yourself going 10, 20, 30% above asking price. And what happens when you buy a property above asking price? A few things. One is you're immediately in negative equity. So once you've purchased that property, you are now at a significant loss in terms of wealth creation wise, because it may take years for that property to increase in market value to get back to the value at which you paid for it. I'll go into later videos about what negative equity means and why it's a significant risk that first-time buyers should avoid. Now I've mentioned the biggest mistake that first-time buyers make, which is to fall in love with the property. How can you avoid falling in love and paying way over market price of a property? And to be honest with you, this is one of the main reasons why property in the UK is overpriced in some areas, because over 90% of the property market is first-time buyers. So over 90% of transactions is first-time buyers, and first-time buyers are the people who tend to overpay for property. So that's why you see property being inflated across the UK. So how do you become a smart, informed first-time buyer? Well, remember Anthony told you, never fall in love. If you go to view a property that you feel like you've fallen in love with and it has to be yours, emotionally detach yourself from that property. You might say, but Anthony, that's easier said than done. How do you do that? Well, here's a technique I use to emotionally detach myself from a property. Any property you find can be made your dream home with a £10,000 to £20,000 investment. So let me tell you what that means. You can buy one of the ugliest beat up fixer-uppers you can find. If you spend £10,000, kitchen renovation, bathroom renovation, liquor paint, floors, you can turn that into your dream home. If you want to spend 20 grand, my goodness, you can turn it into your palace. I've spent £4,000 on renovations before and turned an absolutely battered place into a beautiful place. So you can do wonders with a bit of money. So don't fall in love with any property, because you can turn anything into your dream home with a little investment. Now, it's better to spend £10,000 to get a decent property to become your dream home than to spend 40, 50, 60, 70,000 pounds over asking price to buy your dream home. So always remember that rule, because it will save you thousands, if not tens of thousands, when you are ready to purchase your first property. Never fall in love. And if you go to view a property with your significant other, that be your husband, wife, fiance, partner, and they fall in love with the property, just point them to this video because it's going to save you lots and lots of money in the future. If you just learn one thing from any experts, any property guru out there, it's this: as a first-time buyer, you never fall in love with a property, because once you do, you will overpay, and once you overpay, you are now going to fall into the trap of what happens when you enter negative equity. Hope you found that valuable. If you did, like, share, engage with the socials. Thank you for watching the video and have a great day. Take care.